Hello and welcome to Redeeming Thunder. I'm so glad you're here. I'm here to give you a phenomenal prophetic word given to me on 7/19/2025. This is chapter 43, part 3, given to me through a dream. Okay? There is something that the Heavenly Father is asking you to do. So you got to listen on, okay? So I'm going to dive into the dream here. It was a banquet hall, festivity at a banquet hall. And I was in the room with a few people, okay? I saw this woman, and she was finally in the same room as some family members that she was standing in prayer for to return to her. So, in other words, she hasn't seen them in a while, and they were finally back in her life, okay? So they were in the banquet area, and nobody was eating, okay? So this woman, she went to the kitchen prepping for the youth convention. And suddenly, another man was in the kitchen with her. He looked like a strong, tall man. And he pulled her close to him and started being romantic and dancing with her in the kitchen. Okay? And he was also being very helpful, helping her prep for that youth convention. And they slow danced. Okay? And it looked like she was enjoying her time with this man. Then they both walked out to the open area banquet. The individuals who she hasn't seen in a very long time were busy complaining about things. Okay? And she wanted to sort of cheer up the matter, and she wanted to sort of uplift their moods. And she felt that she needed to prove something, because what they were complaining about was who was helping her in the kitchen. They were complaining about that individual, like, why is that person here? Like, I don't like him, or blah blah blah. Okay? So in order for her to, she felt like she needed to prove herself, or defend the individual, or even defend herself, right? So she began to blurt out, "He's my boyfriend. He's not just a stranger. He's my boyfriend," or something like that. And so suddenly the guy that she was, dancing with in the kitchen, he says, "We're not putting a label on it." And it's like, oh my gosh, that sounds so sketch. Imagine if that actually happened to you. Okay, so she's just like, what? And so she's like, I didn't think it was a secret. Okay? I thought it was fine to say out loud. Okay, so from that dream ended, okay, in that moment. And I asked Abba, I'm like, what does this dream mean? And he says, tell them you need to keep quiet. You're supposed to keep your union a secret. Do not tell anyone who you are going to end up with, or who you're going to marry, or any secret intimate details. Let the relationship mature to ripen and become secure. So I hope this makes sense. This is what Yahweh was asking of you. You are not to share any details of how your relationship is going, even though it's kind of rocky. You're interacting with a person and you're like, I don't know if this person's going to change. It could be a prodigal spouse that's returning to you. and you're still sort of complaining about him in front of people, and then you know, you're still, whenever he does something great and grand, then you're trying to pump it up. You don't need to do any of that, okay? You do not need to prove yourself to anybody. Just live your life and let it be intimate. Too many people get their opinions caught up in your relationship, and they do it too soon. And this has been a habit of theirs, to get too involved and give their 2 cents all the time. And all it does is create trouble. Okay? Let this be a secret until the marriage occurs. You might have to elope, in other words, that no one finds out. And then afterwards you can do another celebration marriage, okay, where you invite all your guests. But that's how it's gonna have to be, because people are always gonna have their opinions. And when Yahuwah sends you the individual, it is not for the whole world, because a lot of people are not going to be happy for you that you're happy. Okay, he's trying to make sure that nobody ruins it. And you can thank him for that, because he's very wise. Shalom.